Today I'm joined by the brilliant actor, writer, producer, hilarious comedian.
That's right.
Michelle Buteau to talk about her brand new Netflix show, Survival of the Thickest. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you so much. You forgot mother, daughter, taxpayer. She out here.
Now, mother's a big title. Like, I see the stuff that my wife does, and I'm like, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah,
Like,
I know y'all can't,
I
but we
couldn't
can because it's real life. And if we don't do it, nobody else will.
But what
So
do you
she's
say?
amazing.
What do you say to dads who want to be like better at assisting their wives? Because I feel like as a father, you're just
You're
like
the
assistant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say read the room. Read the room more often because I think a lot of guys, if you're in this heteronormative sort of relationship, right, you just assume that it's going to be done because she's always doing it. But it would be nice to think 3 steps ahead, like, is the laundry done? Are they going to eat? What are they going to eat later? They might need something to drink. Check it out. Do you know what I mean? Also, like their development. Talk to them about something different. Take them somewhere. Plan a family day. Do all that stuff. Even with like the bath time. Like as soon as the dinner is done, I don't know who's cooking. Whoever's cooking, the other person should clean. And let's go do a bath. I'll do the bath and also clean the bath. So it's just like thinking 3 to 5 steps ahead, which is what most women do. And that's why we tired. So when you walk down the street and someone's like, smile, mama, why are you so pretty? Smile. It's just like, you want to come to my house and do what I do? Then you smile, bitch, and shut up. And go tell your mama I said hi because you probably still live with her and collect checks. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Survival of the Thickest. Great show on Netflix, all 8 episodes, inspired by my book, Survival of the Thickest, Plus-Size Essays in a Small-Minded World. Ow. And I couldn't be more excited and proud. I'm so proud. It's really nice to do something that you like, you know what I mean, that you put your heart and soul into. And the vision that you started with, it only got better at the end. And so I'm just like, wow. I'm just so proud. I'm like overwhelmed.
So you wrote the show, you
Yeah.
produced the show, and you are the star.
Yes.
Can you just talk about like the balance of that and what it feels like seeing something you put so much energy into actually come alive?
Yeah, it doesn't come out of nowhere, right? So I've been doing comedy since 2001. I'm bad at math, so you do it. I think it's over 20 years. Thank God I age well, because black don't crack and beige don't age. Did you get that, Russell? And so, honestly, comedians that can do other things and just be multi-hyphenates, we've been working for free for years. Whether it's like writing sketches with your friends or, hosting some stuff on like a cable network. And so we've actually been putting in the work for a long time. So by the time you do get to a position like this, you know how to call the shots and you know exactly what you want. And if you've been lucky like me and you've been working on other sets, for TV and film, you could say, oh my God, I really like this, or I wouldn't do that. Like, I had a comedian named Will Sylvans tell me a long time ago, just don't go to the comedy clubs where you're the best, also go where like you're the worst, because you learn from people who are at the top of their game. And so that's what I love to do. And I feel like I really got that opportunity with this show. All 4 of our directors are boss-ass bitches, all women. Most of the heads of our department were women. My showrunner, Danielle Sanchez-Witzel, she's a boss-ass bitch. She's done a ton of TV, and she's actually on the negotiation committee for the WGA right now. And so she's just like-minded individuals who only want to help you be your best, highest, truest self is where it's at for me, and I really can't fuck with anything else. And that's why I don't talk to half of my family. Sorry, see you on Facebook.
You said something very interesting about just coming up in the industry and doing the free work. And when I talk to my students who want to be, I teach writing, and when I talk to them about being a writer and like just the grind, and I talk about the free work, they look at me like I have 3 heads. Yeah. Like I'm saying something crazy. This new generation, they're like, oh, I'm gonna have my self-care and you're gonna pay me for my time and my value.
Yes,
and,
it's precious.
Is that sustainable?
I don't think so. Look, I think it's a gray area, right? Because the reason why the Guild is fighting is because they don't, like, writers shouldn't have to do stuff for free. But you should be able to get to a place where you've had enough experience writing on your own and with your friends because you love it and you're so passionate about it and you really can't do anything else, that you should just have like ideas in your back pocket to bring to the table. Nobody cares about a pretty face or how many followers you have on social media in a writer's room. because we need to get pages done. You know, stories like
No, I was in the writers' room. We all were ugly.
no, like
It's like a requirement.
no, it's not. I mean, I don't know what
We're at the coffee
shows you
machine.
worked on.
We're in the coffee machine, like.
You know, there is that too, right? Where like writers are a necessary part of the process. You know, you can't have good unless you know how bad it is. You can't have pretty unless somebody know the ugly. So, and it's not going to be funny if it's like shiny all the time. So I really appreciate ugly ass writers, because tell me what it is. Tell me what your life has been like. You know, like I think every story is important and valuable. And how can we make it, you know, into a story for TV and elevate it? Mm-hmm. Because I think, especially as books are being banned, and this conversation about finding your truth about who you want to be and how you want to live is on the chopping block, which is just insane. Like, these stories are way more important, more than ever, to put into film and television. And so I'm really glad I got a chance to do that, because my casting crew is very diverse. We have Peppermint, who's been on Drag Race, and she is a Black trans woman. We had non-binary PAs and also actors. We had, I mean, everything I wanted to do, I got to do, which is very rare, but I had a vision. I'm a good person. I'm funny as fuck. So just let me do it. Do you know what I mean?
But do you feel like being so inclusive made the project take longer to come to life? Because I know sometimes when we want to do things our way, the industry tends to try to slow us down.
Yeah, I mean,
did you have to fight some fights to
definitely
be able to
fight
make sure?
some fights, you know, but I tried not to look at it as a fight. It's just more of a debate. And then, like, definitely you have to stand up for yourself and know why you have this opinion, right? And so if someone's just saying, why does it have to be inclusive? Then you have to give them the ABC to their X, Y, and Z. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can't just show up in a room and be like, this is what I want, unless you're a Kardashian. And we ain't, I'm looking around, I don't see no, there are no Kardashians here. So I think it's important for you to know why you want this done too. Now, I don't think it slowed down the process in terms of doing the show. I don't think it slowed down my process, like, in terms of being a performer, because I do believe we can get our jobs done without being an asshole. You can be an asshole and work, but also you're gonna age me, and that feels like emotional osteoporosis. So, you know, I just feel like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. I'm very inclusive with people in my life, so let's go ahead and build on this and do something really fun and funny and you know, slightly educational.
It's one of the best parts of the show is that New York is a character, and it's not just a, you know, basic vanilla stereotypical version of New York that we've been spoon-fed throughout our lives, but it's like different communities and peoples and ideas and I think it's rich, and I think it's necessary. So in this beautiful, diverse world, we have our great friend Mavis. Mavis is brilliant. She's talented. Mavis is talented.
Oh, thank you.
This is funny because as the person who plays Mavis, like if I say good stuff about Mavis, you get to own it. But if I say bad stuff about Mavis, you're like, oh yeah, Mavis needs to work on that.
You know, it's funny because like it really is like language, right? Like, we beat ourselves up for our bodies, like, oh, this is a problem area. It's not, it's a human area. Oh, I'm doing something bad. No, you're just on a journey to self-discovery and you're just doing something real. So if you're not learning from your mistakes, then you might be an asshole and you're not reading the room, you know, and you won't get anywhere in life, and you'll wonder why. And I think for Mavis, you know, playing this 38-year-old who has...
Can you please formally introduce us to her?
Sure. So I play Mavis Beaumont. Mavis was my grandmother's name, and I love her so much, and she's one of the strongest women I know and was introduced to in my life. And so, nice. You know, when I was thinking of character names, I was like, you know, the spirit hit me, and I was like, absolutely, it her. And people always talk about, oh, when I'm 30, I need this to happen, or 35. But really for, I think, men and women, when you're approaching 40, your late 30s is a time for you to say, okay, Is this who I'm going to be? Am I going to be in this relationship with someone where I don't really know if they're the one, but they're really good on paper? Am I going to be stuck in this job where it's not fulfilling, but it's definitely like keeping the commas in the bank account? Am I going to live in this neighborhood where I don't see myself reflected in the people, but at least it's like I got a window in New York?
Right.
And so, you know, Mavis, I can say, is cheated on. And I really wanted her to be cheated on in the beginning.
In the pilot, in the pilot.
Yeah, she's cheated on right away from her boyfriend.
Maybe like Act 1.
So
like, yeah,
like,
kind
right,
of early.
because for me, I've been cheated on before more than once in life, and that was really just like it was a jump start to the next part of life I was supposed to be living. Mm-hmm. So I was just staying in this relationship stagnant because I thought it was good. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to fight all the time for something to be bad, right? And I didn't know. And most of the women in my family had been cheated on, and they figured out how to pick themselves up and keep it moving. And so that's why I was like, she's gonna be cheated on, and she's gotta figure out who she wants to be. And, you know, and like I was saying, all those things that we think about in our late 30s before we head into being middle-aged, she gets to
which
really
can be
feel
scary
it.
because she
Very
has it figured out. I mean, her career's on the rise. She has a great opportunity. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
But she kind of, you know, you should be able to come into the world and feel her because she had her life blew up.
Yeah. And, you know, when something happens in another chapter in your life, then you go to this other chapter and say, okay, I guess it's time to do this because now I can't put this energy to something that's not working anymore. I'm going to put it to something that will only serve me. And I think, you know, I really wanted my character, Mavis, to be a stylist because I definitely want to talk about body positivity and that fat people and disabled people and queer people are fucking sexy. And we should see that on camera. And also, I really want her to be a stylist because I wanted a good ass budget for the wardrobe. Don't give me that Old Navy couture money.
Smart,
you know what I mean?
Smart.
And plus, it was just like a beautiful platform to say, okay, how do we like just make all these oddie bodies and fatty baddies just look and feel good? And also, it's a job that your immigrant parents are going to understand. You know, like people know how to dress themselves. Why are you dressing people for a living? And so, you know, being a stylist sort of like hit all the marks in terms of like what it was like for me to tell my parents that I wanted to be a comedian, you know, and they left Jamaica and Haiti to come to America to give me a better life. And I'm out here just like telling dick jokes in express jeans. You know what I mean? Boot cut jeans? What a mess.
Who thought they would come back?
You know, that's what I'm saying.
You know, it's you know, it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny that Mavis was cheated on, but I definitely think it's going to start some serious conversations about how cheating on your partner can affect like the family. You're not just cheating on the person you're with, but you're breaking up friend groups. You know, you are knocking off a parent's dreams, and all of these different things happen. I was cheated on in high school, and what I will say is when I got cheated on back in high school, it felt a whole lot better being the person who cheated.
Because you cheated.
And I cheated in high school.
Because you were young.
I was young.
Yes, of course. I mean, full disclosure, I cheated in high school too. You know, I didn't have the vocabulary to tell somebody this isn't working, and so I feel really like seen and sexy by this other person. Like we like later in life, absolutely you got to talk about that. But like, I really wanted to make this character Jacques, who's played by Taylor Soleil, who's amazing, relatable. Yes, he cheats on his girlfriend, but he is also a hardworking Black man who's a photographer who's starting to get a lot of cachet, a lot of money, a lot of things thrown at him that he never had before. And what does that look like? You know, and when the love is really there and you really truly just like step out for this one mistake because you didn't talk about the stuff that was wrong in your relationship for so long, what does that look like? You know, he wasn't getting the emotional intimacy that he really wanted from her. And she, you know, was stuck in the day-to-day of I cook, I clean, I touch a dick, we keep it moving, we're good on paper, boom. And it's like there's so much more in between. And what does a soulmate really look like. And also like even being in your late 30s, both of their families really wanted them together and like work through it. And there's like this generational thing that happens with cheating too, where we're just supposed to understand it.
Right.
And I think that stops at my generation, where it's just like, or we could choose better, you know? And I think having kids right now, a friend of mine, Jordan Carlos, we do a really hilarious podcast together called Adulting. He told me when I first had kids, when you have kids, you're gonna learn how to parent yourself. And I didn't know what he meant until I had to make like some big decisions. And I'm like, oh, now I'm an example for them.
I love the dynamic between Mavis and Khalil's friendship. Like,
Yeah.
I think we don't really see that enough in television. Was that intentional or?
You know, the minute Netflix was like, let's turn your book into a show, the first character I wrote about was Mavis's best friend, who was a guy that she's known since 7th grade, because that is like copy and pasted from my life. My friend Rashim has been my North Star, and a lot of people have always asked us, are you guys together? Are you hooking up? It's like, no, you could just love on each other. And you know, so many people that want to know about the show want to know when they're gonna hook up. And I'm like, look, men and women should be friends. You know, we can learn a lot from each other. And so to say that, like, when are they gonna hook up, to me just felt hella misogynistic, because you're just saying that women are good for one thing.
Right.
And, you know, and at some point we gotta like hook up, and that's not what it is. And so I thought it was really important to just showcase my New York and my world. So that's why I have Khalil, who is the brother that she never wanted, and also Marley, who's just like a rich bitch, older black woman, just out here like the Oracle, you know, taking names, kicking booty. Like, you know, if there was a black girl reboot of Wolf of Wall Street, that's who Marley is. And it's so nice to have someone like that in your life too, just to be like, sis, you ain't doing it, so do it like this.
The show is hilarious. Everyone knows you are super funny. Are you on tour right now, or are you preparing for another tour, stand up? Can we expect another special?
Oh my goodness, I would love to do another special. You know, I feel like it's been a good long time since my last special, and I love when comedians take 3 to 5 years for the next special. Like, we don't need to be popping one out every year. That's crazy.
'Cause you gotta live some life, right?
You gotta live some life, have some experiences. And so I have been doing that, and I'm going on tour this fall. It's gonna be called Full Heart Tight Jeans, because whenever somebody asks me how I'm doing, like, I don't like to be like, good, how are you? I'm gonna let them know. And my heart is always full, my jeans are always tight, so I let them know. And that's what I named the tour. It's gonna be very fun.
Where are you going? What cities?
Good question. You can ask my agent. You know, sometimes I'm a pretty face. I'm no Christopher Columbus, I'm bad with directions, but I'm doing some America, something in Canada, and something in Europe.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus gets a lot of credit for being bad at directions. You get a whole fucking day, you get a sale at Macy's.
I
and all
know, a
Yeah.
sale at Macy's. I actually have the same birthday as Amelia Earhart, which I always say we definitely are bold and bad with directions. Too soon.
So you have 2 young kids, twins,
I do,
and you
yeah.
have this excellent advice column. I was wondering if having an advice column is kind of like training for making sure you push your babies in the right direction.
Yeah, kind of. You know, I really am going off of their personalities. You know, there's definitely the do's and don'ts in general, but I think for them, like, I'm just gonna go off of them, which I think is really important. I don't think enough parents do. Because I'm realizing now they're such a representative of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they do something embarrassing, it's just like, that's all me. But it's not. Like, everything is happening for a reason, and they're just testing boundaries. And people still do that in adulthood, to be quite frank. And so, real simple, I love doing this modern manners column, but I didn't think it would be so hard. I realized that, like, I'm really good at emotional relationship advice.
Okay.
And so the modern manners of it all is very interesting, because America's big. America's like the Costco of countries. Of like 330 million people. I don't know how you live your life in Oklahoma. I don't know what the Starbucks line is like.
So people ask you questions, and sometimes you're like, wait, I can't answer this shit.
Yeah,
Or-
I just try to answer the best of my ability, and I also I just let them know like what I would do, and has that ever happened to me, and like personal stories too, because this isn't about me telling you how to live. This is about us having a conversation, even if I've never met you.
With my daughter, I do the yes method, which is probably why I'm a terrible father. I say yes to everything.
Okay.
So if she wants ice cream at 2:00 in the morning, yes.
Yeah.
If she wants to go to a water park in February, I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna find one. Like,
Right.
I just say yes.
And why do you say yes? Did your parents always tell you no?
I just feel like I'm an old dad. Like she's three, and like all of my friends, just ride with me real quick.
Yes,
all of my
yes.
friends started having kids when they were like 15.
Yeah.
She was born when I was 39.
Yes.
So I'm kind of like a grandparent in my friend group.
Yes.
And grandparents tend to say yes more than regular parents. So technically, I'm kind of like a grandparent. It pisses my wife off. However,
Yes.
it makes my daughter really happy.
I have a lot of opinions. Do you want them?
Please.
Okay. That's going to work up until it's not, right? So she's 3 now, but at 13, it's going to be like a phone, a car,
Yes,
a night out,
yes.
a crop
Wait,
top,
what?
a heel.
A night out?
Yes. 13 is sleepovers. They want to assimilate and do what their friends do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, we're going to figure out how to have a conversation. And you know what? Honestly, you're never going to be the bad guy because she knows that she's loved. So it's okay. Like, you don't have to be a good cop all the time.
Very scared of being a bad guy. I don't want to be the bad guy.
I know that. But she feels the love. She knows. You know when someone likes you, even if you don't even know how to say words. So she knows that you love her, and it's okay to be the bad cop. It is. Because then it's a shared experience with your wife, and it's not like 90-10. Do you know what I mean? Because it can't just be all on her, because then she's never going to enjoy any of the yes moments either. You get all that. So it's unbalanced.
Right.
So I would say do it together.
See, people didn't even know they were gonna get like real life emotional relationship advice in real time.
Come on, with freckles and top titty me, what else is she gonna do? And a bunion? Let's go.
Thank you so much. Can you tell everyone when and where they can see your show?
Yes, Netflix, you gotta get your own password. Sorry, bitches, but you deserve. July 13th, all 8 episodes, Survival of the Thickest. I can't wait.